This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global at the Copper Box Arena. I'm delighted to be joined by WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. Finally, Joseph.
Finally here in London, and I'm enjoying it.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, known about you for quite a long time now, but we've never got a chance to speak before, so thank you very much for your time, first of all.
Thanks.
We saw Hughie Fury in an exhibition fight because he couldn't have a competitive fight for his record before he faces you on the 23rd of September.
Yep.
I understand you didn't really get to see that.
I didn't get to see it. I missed out. I mean, I got told at a different time, and we were sort of aiming to come here and sort of watch him in action, but no, I missed it. But I got to see other fights that were sort of entertaining, and there were a lot of action in those fights.
Now, obviously, you're here. You've got a press conference on Tuesday in Manchester to formally announce your fight with Hughie Fury.
Yep.
Manchester Arena, 23rd of September. So, yeah, what's your original thoughts about this, Joseph?
My initial thoughts are, I'm excited. I'm excited to be going away from fighting in my hometown in New Zealand and actually coming here. This is where the heavyweights are at the moment, and I feel like it's good to be here. It's good to have a fight announced and a date ready, and I feel like I'm excited to jump in the ring with Hughie Fury and make a statement here.
Before we talk about Hughie Fury, obviously about a year ago, roughly, there was links between a fight for yourself and Anthony Joshua before he fought Vladimir Klitschko. How close was that to actually happening between your promotional teams and?
I had the mandatory sort of position to fight Joshua, but I think there were a lot of things in the background that, and then I think the opportunity for the WBO came up, and we sort of took that. I wanted to be the champion of the world, so thankfully my team sort of guided me in this direction, and we were able to achieve that. But I feel like Joshua's gone down this road, and he's he's got the WBA and the IBF. He's a great champion, and he looked really good with Klitschko.
We saw that footage of you watching the Klitschko fight from, it looked like a bar or somewhere.
Yeah, we were watching it at like a bar restaurant, and it was good. It was a lot of people interested in that fight in New Zealand.
Definitely. I mean, I know it was a little while ago now, but what were your thoughts on that? You think that Klitschko, obviously people said that he had it there in, I think, round 5 or 6, and then Joshua to get to round 11, give him credit there. But how did you see that?
I mean, it was a great heavyweight fight. One of the sort of more exciting ones that Klitschko was involved in a long time. And I feel like Joshua had him, Klitschko had him, and then Joshua showed a lot of heart to come back and beat Klitschko, who's been dominating for a long time.
Another fighter from the UK that is kind of a new heavyweight that you've been linked with is Liverpool's Tony Bellew.
Yeah.
Any comments on this, Joseph?
He did. He looked good in his last. I mean, he to come out with a win with David Haye. David Haye's no joke. David Haye can punch. He's got a lot of movement. Always prepared for each fight. Looks good. So to get a win over David Haye was good for him. It sort of lifted his profile. And I feel like he's going to have bigger fights coming soon.
I mean, obviously you can't look past your mandatory challenge of Hughie Fury, but is that a possibility, that Tony Bellew fight, if you're successful on September 23rd?
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. I feel like you said, get past Hughie and hopefully keep the belt. And then there's Tony Bellew, there's Joshua, there's Dillian Whyte, there's Pavik. There's a lot of fighters that we're looking at. They're just weighing up which one makes sense to us and our team.
What do you make of Dillian Whyte? Obviously, he's quite a vocal character here in the UK.
Yeah.
What do you make of him?
I respect every fighter that jumps in the ring. It's not an easy thing, and you have to have courage to get in the ring and then when the other person's trying to knock you out. But he's been calling me out saying that I'm the weakest heavyweight and all this and that. But I'm the champion of the world. He hasn't sort of been a champion yet. So, but I'd like to fight him one day, just to test myself and test him and see who's the best man.
I mean, with the other two champions in Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, is the goal for you to be in the biggest fights possible, even if that meant that it wasn't one of those champions? Yeah,
I want to be in the biggest fights. I want to fight the best in the world because back in the day the best used to fight the best, and there should be one champion. So I want to see who's the one.
Definitely. I mean, we could be in a position next year, maybe, if obviously one of you or Anthony and Deontay were to fight each other, there's an undisputed tag there to which everyone wants out of all of you.
If one of us fight each other, it'll be a very exciting fight, and there'll be a lot of interest, and then we'll definitely see who's the best.
Coming back to Hughie Fury, obviously the fight was scheduled to first take place in New Zealand back in May.
Yeah.
You're now having to travel to Manchester to have this fight. What are your thoughts on that, first of all?
Oh no, I'm excited. I'm excited to, like I said before, change from fighting in New Zealand and having the crowd to be able to come here and fight in front of this crowd. A lot of them will be supporting for their own, but I guess I'll use that as motivation to sort of come out and just do what I can do best.
What do you say when people kind of look at the three heavyweight champions and pin you out as sort of the weak link, like you said, maybe things that Dillian Whyte has said, but what do you say to people that, you know, maybe watched your last performance and said, oh, because a lot of people did, they said, you know, I could beat Joseph Parker.
Yeah,
and
my last performance wasn't the best, but everyone has their opinion. You know, I just focusing on myself and focusing on what I have to do, and that's to get in great shape and beat people up in the ring.
That's all you could do. Do your job and yeah, let everyone do their talking, which is always going to be the case in boxing.
Yeah.
So, how long are you in the UK for?
Well, we're here for about 5 days, and then off to Vegas, start training again. I've had a long break in New Zealand where I enjoyed it with family and friends, spent time with my daughter. The body got a good rest, so now I'm excited to be get into camp again and work hard, learn some new skills, and prepare for Hughie.
I hate mentioning other fights when you've got this huge fight, but I will, because I don't, like I said, we don't always get to speak to you, Joseph, but you were strongly linked with a fight with Deontay Wilder recently as well. What actually happened there in regards to negotiations?
I just different path. I think we had to fight our mandatory, was sort of forced. So I think we just have to get past this mandatory. Everything goes well, then we can look at all these bigger fights.
And obviously, we're expecting the return of Tyson Fury at some point this year, hopefully, after his ongoing cases have sort of come to sort of a conclusion. So, do we need Tyson Fury back in the heavyweight mix?
I think we do. I think after he deals with the sort of things that he's dealing with, then I think it'll be good to have him back. You know, he brings a lot of he brings excitement, and he brings a lot of
controversy.
Yeah, controversy. And he's sort of one of those characters who the sport needs. And you know, he's the guy that beat the champ, that was champ for a long time, so he's still the guy to beat. Definitely,
and like I said, he should be returning this year, and everyone in boxing wants him to.
See him back.
You as heavyweight champion, you know, some people regard Tyson Fury still as the best because he was the one that did that, you know, nearly 2 years ago this year. So,
I see him as one of the best, and I'd love the opportunity to fight him one day if it works out.
Definitely. All right, have you got anything else you'd like to add, Joseph?
No, just good to be here. Look forward to training hard and coming back in September and putting in a great shape for everyone.
Yeah. What did you and Hughie talk about? We saw you kind of having
I just
a little...
said hello.
Yeah.
Actually, nice to meet him, and just told him, you know, train hard. It's going to be a good fight.
Definitely. Have you seen much of Hughie over the last sort of few years?
Only on what I could find on the internet or YouTube.
Yeah.
Just the fights that he's had, and I like what I see.
All right, well listen, we shall catch up with you at the press conference on Tuesday in Manchester, but thank you very much for giving us some time, and like I said, we'll catch up with you then.
Thank you.